she missed my tryout.
Since her introduction in the 9th issue of Invincible comics, Monster Girl has been an interesting character. While she looks like a 12-year-old child, she can easily change into a hunk of a monster and rain hell upon anyone who challenges her. With such an interesting ability, Amanda caught our eyes, and that is why today we will take a look into her and see why she changed into this monster in the first place, how she can turn back into a human, and how can she get to her strongest form. If you are curious, strap in and let's get to it. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Is this okay?
Who is Monster Girl? Is she a human or a troll? When the original Guardians of the Globe were killed, on Cecil Stedman's instructions, a tryout was held for the new Guardians of the Globe under robot supervision. One of the Guardians of the Globe members was seemingly a child. She was Monster Girl. Rexplode, another Guardians of the Globe member, was a bit surprised by her addition, and he thought it would be alright to make fun of her at her expense. However, when he did that, the girl sassed him right back. Rexplode is not one of those guys who would laugh it off when someone roasts them, so he immediately challenged her to the fight and got the nastiest surprise he was not ready for. This seemingly young child became a humongous green troll in the blink of an eye and easily overpowered Rexplode. No matter how much Rex tried to gain the upper hand in their brief fight, he could not hurt the troll in any way. The fight ended when Invincible, the young hero, got in between them and knocked some sense into the monster. The troll-like creature changed back into the girl we first saw, and with that interesting fight, we get to meet one of the best characters in the Invincible series. Amanda, better known as Monster Girl, was a young girl who was pretty good academically. She joined a school mostly for the more well-off people owing to her academic prowess, and she graduated 2 years earlier than her classmates. Her private school was girls only, and together with all her friends, she went on a school trip to Europe. As Amanda was a teen, while out on this summer trip, she found love like most people her age do. She fell in love with this boy whom she met while on this trip and decided to go through all the bases with him. This was a good enough idea overall, except that the boy's grandmother was unhappy about the blossoming relationship between her grandson and Amanda. This grandmother ended up witnessing Amanda and the boy being intimate, and as she is a practitioner of magic, she decided to curse Amanda. She collected a strand of Amanda's hair from the barn where she and the boy were being intimate and used that to curse her. Now, Amanda did not know anything about it, and once her summer fling was over, she returned to her home. During this plane ride, Amanda learns about her troll form and understandably is not too happy about it. However, once she came home, she used this version of herself for good. At first, she did not know how to control the monster form, but eventually, she got the hang of it, and once she did, it was all good to go. With the name Monster Woman, she did her fair share of vigilante acts. But wait a minute, she took the name Monster Woman. How come we know her as Monster Girl? That is because the curse turned her into a troll, and with each transformation, she aged backwards. With each transformation, she unknowingly reversed her age, and even though she was in her 20s when we saw her in the tryouts, she looked like a 12-year-old girl. As this name thing started getting weird, she decided to go with the name Monster Girl instead.
I've got an anonymous call. We'll take it from here.
How does her body skin work after transforming into Monster Girl? Her physiology changes completely once Amanda changes into her troll or monster form. Instead of being her normal self, her muscles grow in size. While her size and muscles change, one of the biggest changes is in her skin. So, she looks particularly fair when she is in her human form. She is a pale ginger. She is very pretty. However, her skin turns green when she takes on her monster form. Not only that, but this skin of hers is dense and durable. It is so durable that even when Rexplode's weapons hit her and burst on contact, she did not get injured. Any type of impact, explosion, and other conventional way a person gets hurt in a fight does not affect her in the slightest. Even in high temperatures, her skin is not affected. Neither is it affected when there is a lot of radiation. When Rexplode and Monster Girl fight, we do not see her skin break once. When Invincible punches her to stop her from fighting Rexplode, even then, her skin does not break. And let's be honest, Viltrumite's strength is no joke. But do we see her skin breaking at any point? Yes. We see her fall when she faces off against Battle Beast, the honorable fighter. Owing to the superhuman durability of her skin, she lasted a lot longer than any of her teammates did in that fight. As Battle Beast is a formidable opponent, you can only imagine the strength she received from him to have her skin broken in and bleeding.
8-year-old what?
How does Monster Girl's size affect her strength? So, when Monster Girl changes, as we have mentioned, her skin turns green and her muscles change. Her muscles grow in size and they become thicker, rather denser. The increase in the density of the muscle mass means the number of muscle fibers in her body is tightly packed, and there are numerous of them, giving her strength that she did not have before. Owing to this increase in her strength, we often see Amanda lifting up heavy debris and rubble whenever she is on a rescue mission. She can lift up tons of weight without batting an eye, and the strength that she brings to the table has been proven to be quite helpful for her team. One of the biggest plus points of this transformation is that Amanda has a hand-to-hand fighting style. The way she fights, she relies on a lot of brute force. She does not do a lot of fancy moves, but whichever moves she does, no matter how simple they may be, are enough to knock people out. However, as we learn more about Amanda, we realize her size is very much related to her power in her monster form. If she is smaller in her human size, she will be proportionately stronger in her monster form, as we see in issue 109, where we get to see her strongest form. This superhuman strength that she gets whenever she transforms, paired with her superhuman durability, owing to her skin and her fighting style, makes Amanda a unit, and there is no doubt why Robot thought Amanda would be a good addition to the team of Guardians of the Globe.
Civilians.
Does she have healing ability? When you have superhuman strength and superhuman durability, the beating you would have to take is quite a bit. This is especially true when it comes to Amanda. At first, it was true because she was always out to do her vigilante work, which required getting into fights. But now that she is part of Guardians of the Globe, she has to get into fights at all times. So, one of the things that she needs in her arsenal is healing. Surprisingly enough, she does have accelerated and regenerative healing when she is in her monster form. That is why when she is fighting against anyone else, we do not see her take a lot of damage. Flaxans have repeatedly invaded Earth, and Monster Girl herself has a history in the Flaxan Empire. Even though the race is quite strong and quite the challenging opponent, due to her accelerated healing, she bested them in combat, and she was the champion of the Empire when Robot was the Emperor of the Flaxans. The only time we truly see Amanda suffer is when she fights with Battle Beast. Battle Beast is a formidable opponent who is very good at using tactics while fighting. Amanda would rather just charge at the opponent with brute force, which led to her brutal beatdown at the hands of Battle Beast. By the time Battle Beast was done with her, Amanda was bleeding internally, and her skull was broken in pretty badly. She was not dead, thankfully, and she was rushed to the ER of GDA. Now, while there, we see that her healing is unable to take over her body because her body cannot keep the monster form transformation in check. She kept convulsing and going from her human form to her monster form, which affected the healing of the wounds quite a bit. However, Robot came in clutch by getting a rare Cerulean Cosmos, which helped trigger her healing abilities, and Monster Girl survived that ordeal.
What happened?
I don't know.
Why does Monster Girl's age decrease upon reverting to human form? So, when it comes to Amanda's curse, as we have already discussed, it turns her into a troll-like monster. However, as if that was not enough, the curse also changes her body even after she reverts back to her human form. Each time she transforms into her monster form and reverts, her age decreases. This condition is a huge issue for her because that directly affects her personal life. Just because she is a hero does not mean she cannot lead a healthy life. Who would have thought when they first saw Amanda that she was 29? But yes, in the TV series or the comics, whichever you saw first, Amanda was 29 when she was there for the tryouts, even though she looked 12. This is why Rex Splode dared to behave like that with her. He could not understand why a child would be allowed to join the Guardians of the Globe, even though Amanda was older than him. Also, this prevented her from practicing as rigorously as Robot had originally planned. If she trained twice daily using her transformation, this would affect her life quite drastically due to the curse and its side effects. This conversation is also the first time we see Robot develop a soft corner for Amanda, as this makes him realize that they both share the same plight when it comes to their bodies. Her plight with the side effects of her power was the biggest reason why Robot and Monster Girl got together. She has always used her power for good, and while that was what made her a part of the Guardians of the Globe, there is no doubt in any fan's heart that this side effect was holding Monster Girl back whenever it came to her personal life, which is why Monster Girl always wanted a cure for it, and as luck would have it, thanks to Robot, she got one.
Lost, Boy Scout.
I said enough!
Does she have any cure of reverse aging? We all know about the titular Invincible War in the Invincible comics. This event occurred when Angstrom Levy, a man who can travel through dimensions, decided to hold a grudge against Invincible and wanted to teach him a lesson. In their first fight, Invincible defeated Angstrom Levy, leading to him retreating, and while he retreated, he kept up surveillance on Invincible's home. Invincible noticed those orbs floating around his house and decided to employ an old friend to figure it out. This old friend was Robot, who, along with Adam E, Monster Girl, Rex Splode, and Bulletproof, had resigned from Guardians of the Globe, shifted to the Teen Team base, and worked like a team. During this post-Guardians of the Globe and pre-Invincible wartime gap, we learn about Robot's cure for Monster Girl's condition. He made her a belt that she could wear to store a copy of her DNA before she transformed into the monster form. This way, when she returns to the human, this stored DNA will affect her whole body, and this way, the side effect of the curse will be bypassed. This is the belt we see Amanda wear as a part of her costume whenever we see her in the comics. While that belt looks like a fashion statement, it plays a crucial role in Amanda's life, and honestly, the belt can be considered as one of the many things, small or big, that Robot did to display his devotion to Amanda. Is it true love, if you can love someone to the point of invention? What is her most powerful form? Okay, so before we talk about this form of hers, we need to give you some backstory, so let's get to it. Remember Angstrom Levy, who we just mentioned? Okay, so he had a grudge against Invincible from the main timeline because he blamed Invincible for his deformities. And well, he brought all the Invincibles, the evil ones, from multiple dimensions and started an Invincible war. His goal was to ruin everyone's opinion of Invincible, as the evil Invincibles would destroy the cities and whatnot. Now, 8 evil Invincibles were left after the war, and when they wanted to riot against Angstrom Levy, he sent them to this dimension where everything was very barren. Because of this, these 8 Invincibles had a grudge against him. At one point, our Invincible hero was sent into this barren dimension, and he ended up meeting with the evil Invincible. Together, they escaped the dimension when the portal opened up. Now, while Levy opened the portal as a peace offering, the evil Invincible wanted to take revenge on Angstrom for forcing him to cannibalize his alternate selves in that barren dimension, so he took Levy with him to his dimension. The robot had been studying the orbs that Levy had used to keep an eye on Invincible. Eventually, he figured out how to use the technology to travel through dimensions together. Robot and Invincible went into this evil Invincible's dimension to see what he was doing with Levy. Turns out, the evil Invincible had been trying to figure out the dimension traveling thing as well by extracting it from Levy's brain, and Levy was kept alive while his brain was hanging out, which was pretty gruesome. Then our main dimension robot killed off the evil Invincible, deserted our Invincible, and went back to the original dimension. So, our Invincible decided to get to work and figure out how to return to the original dimension. He devised the plan to use the robot of this dimension to work with whatever technology was available from evil Invincible's research. So, Invincible did that while pretending to be like evil Invincible to ensure none of his subjects showed up in the secret lair where he, Robot, and Mauler were working. Mauler came into the picture because, as in this dimension, planet Earth was under Viltrum's control, and evil Invincible was the Emperor. If our main Invincible left, then there would have been more chaos. So the training Mauler twin would make a clone of Invincible's body, and Robot would put his consciousness in this Invincible clone and fix this dimension to work in this secret off-site lair. Our Invincible told the Viltrumites there that Robot had kidnapped him, and once the project they were working on was over, Robot would let him go. But this plan backfired on him because his loyal subjects showed up with a baby. This baby is Amanda. She had transformed so many times that she was now an infant, but when the Viltrumite threw the baby, she turned into a huge monster, her strongest form yet, that was bigger than a bridge. Even before unleashing Amanda, based on the talk between the Viltrumites, we can understand that as a baby, Amanda, in her monster form, is a power to behold, and she does not stop destroying things unless she is tired. So while this is her strongest form, it begs the question of whether this much power is worth it, as Amanda can no longer consciously use it. Can Monster Girl reproduce with other species? Monster Girl does have a child, but sadly, it is not with Rudolph, aka Robot. Monster Girl and Robot have a romance that has lasted for centuries, as they were trapped in the Flaxen dimension for 7 centuries. Rudolph had become the Flaxen Emperor, and was not very kind to the Zaxel royal family, which did not sit right with Amanda. There was a distance between the two, as they could not have a child, and Rudy was far more into his work. This eventually led to Amanda helping the Zaxel family stage a revolt against Robot and win, while Robot was in jail writing a letter, asking Amanda for forgiveness. Amanda was finding peace in the arms of Zal Zaxel. Zal was the female of the Zaxel twins, and she had been the one who had told Amanda about the Zaxels being forced to work in the mines, and worked with Amanda to revolt against Robot. Their closeness led to them sharing an intimate moment while Amanda was in her monster form. This led to Amanda fathering, yes, fathering a child, with Zal, as Amanda's monster form is a male. This child, Monax, managed to survive Rudy's attempt at wiping out the Zaxel family, and eventually came back to fight with Amanda because of daddy issues. Does she have any weakness? Other than reverse aging, which acts like her biggest weakness, Monster Girl has a few issues. One of the biggest ones being her magical physiology, as her physiology is cursed unless her healing ability is triggered. No doctor can help her because of the unpredictable nature of her physiology. Also, as we have mentioned, her fighting style relying only on brute force and sheer strength is a huge weakness for her, as that was the sole reason Battle Beast could dominate the entire fight. Marvelous verdict. Amanda is the sassiest character we see in the Invincible comics, and while she may not be your favorite, you cannot deny that she has a charm. With her superhero plight far more complicated than the rest, she is someone that fans often find themselves empathizing with, and overall, as a character, Amanda is an extreme do-gooder. Her helpful nature can be a vice and a virtue to which many readers like myself can relate. Overall, she is one of the best characters in the Invincible series, and if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one, and be safe.
What?